city of Basra is Iraq's economic powerhouse, but ordinary people here are struggling. Home to 2 million people, the city is growing. Farmers in southern Iraq are being driven into the cities by rapid desertification. They end up in slums like these that are growing around Basra. Muhammad Jassim comes from a village east of Basra. He arrived in 2016 and has come to know these streets very well.
We are in
the Junaina neighborhood. The land belongs to the state, but we settled on it and built illegal housing. We used concrete blocks and scrap metal. We're suffering from a lack of electricity and public services.
Because this housing is not registered with the government, they're not entitled to public services. So they make do however they can.
This water is for drinking. We got hooked into the public electricity grid with those green wires connecting the houses. We get the electricity illegally from the main grid.
His uncle and other family members also moved to Junaina recently. Together they built this house out of bits and pieces they've managed to collect. Falah Ballas tried his very best to continue life as a farmer on their land, but with the drop in water levels of the Shatt al-Arab River and salt water coming in upstream from the Persian Gulf, his crops were destroyed.
The water salinity became an issue. It killed everything. Where shall people go? We can't afford to buy a house, so we had to move to this informal neighborhood.
Both men now depend on sporadic work as day laborers.
Sometimes we work as a day laborer, sometimes we don't. We're illiterate, so we can't work in the public sector.
With a daily income of between 13 and 17 euros, the men have little hope that they will manage to escape this neighborhood. But right now, their main concern is losing their homes once again. Local authorities are threatening them with eviction. The government estimates that more than 350,000 people live in informal settlements in Basra. They blame them for stretching out already scarce public resources.
The schools will be packed, as will medical facilities. There will be traffic jams on the streets. There will be more consumption of electricity and water, as well as an added pressure on the sewage system. We'll face many problems that will affect public services.
Overwhelmed by the influx, the government says they are looking for solutions.
Families cannot be thrown out onto the streets. They're compensated with a sum of money or a plot of land if they live in the governorate. And if they come from outside the province, they'll be returned to their province of origin.
Authorities haven't revealed how much compensation evicted households are given, but residents say they've been offered only 3 million Iraqi dinars, or less than 2,000 euros. Some areas have already been cleared of residents, like this one here, to build a road. Hassan Adna still lives on his farm, but passes through this area every day on his way to work at construction sites in Basra. The situation makes him angry.
The government has the money, it has the resources, it has the oil. So where does the money go?
Since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic, 40% of the province's population have been living below the poverty line. Hassan is trying his best to stay on his land and avoid becoming part of the masses moving to Basra. But his once fertile land no longer bears fruit, and help is not coming.
The canals need to be tended to and cleaned by the Ministry of Irrigation, but it does not happen. Where are farmers expected to get their water? Should we dig wells like before?
Thousands of wells would risk drying up Basra's already scarce groundwater. The government is instead trying out another solution, desalination. The Abu Ghasib station was opened last year and treats 3,000 cubic square meters of water per day. They're aiming to build another similar project at the mouth of the Shatt al-Arab.
This is a strategic project with a radical solution to preserve the water of the Shatt al-Arab. It will depend on the Gulf waters being stable. We can work on it and expand the project in the future.
But these projects are expensive and will likely only solve water problems locally. As temperatures in Iraq rise up to 7 times faster than the global average, the country's water resources will be squeezed even further, and this mass rural exodus is set to accelerate in the coming years.